Others with you. You say, well, why should I get once again? You really got to have good motivators in your corners for these rematches.
Left hook landed for Toney, but it was a glancing blow. And the right hand for Toney. And McCallum goes back to the body and then back upstairs with the jab. Right hand shot for Toney.
Start having that vision problem in those eyes. Sometimes you start getting caught with shots. Ordinarily, you would not be caught with it.
Like that one over the top.
Yeah, he's having problems on that side.
So the opportunity is there, you say, George, for Toney to land the right hand.
Anytime he wants. I think he's careful, though, because he realizes if he hits this guy with his best, he can still linger on for 2 or 3 rounds.
McCallum now working effectively behind the jab. Toney making little effort to block or slip the jab. He's just eating it when Mike wants to throw it.
Come on.
For the first time, Toney is starting to cut the ring out periodically. This is something he didn't do earlier.
Get him up.
Making him go in his direction like herding cattle.
Get him up. Get him on top.
Both fighters flurrying to the body inside. Toney's right hand was blocked. And as you saw, he missed wildly with the uppercut there. McCallum going back to the body. More and more frequently, it seems. Perhaps in the hope of taking James Toney's legs away from him. Toney, who has a history of having difficulty making 160 pounds, down to 158. Is he overtrained? Did he do too much work in the gym? That's what McCallum would like to find out in the latter rounds of a 12-round battle.
McCallum is having a hard time figuring out Toney also. Doesn't know exactly what he's going to do.
But there he lands a series of hard body shots, George. 4 or 5 in a row to end.
Keep them hands up, but keep the left hand going. Keep them hands up. Them shots to the body, you know how to catch them. And when you catch them doing something off of them.
Harold,
but keep them hands up.
Tell us about your scoring nightmare in this fight through the first half.
Larry, I don't have it as such a nightmare. I got it 4-2, 58-56, James Toney. Jim, what I'm judging is who's doing the more damage. And let me tell you something. It's that home run ball that James Toney is throwing, the overhand right, that's doing the most damage. When he comes over the top with that right hand, that's what's doing the damage. That's what's scoring the points, and that's what I'm scoring.
You and I, Harold, are going to agree to disagree on this one because I don't think he's really hurt McCallum with many of those punches. I see it as a scoring nightmare, 2, 2, and 2. 2 rounds even, 2 rounds apiece.
I think it's a scoring nightmare, and I could see judges going for McCallum at this point. He is landing more punches and with a higher rate of accuracy than is Toney. So we have a split opinion at ringside. And you never know what the judges are going to do in a fight like this.
I saw McCallum stretch his legs out in between rounds. And I thought Toney sit still, almost bored. It can make a difference. You can catch a young kid bored. You can do a lot of things to him. So long as he doesn't know you're hurting him.
Well, the question is Toney discouraged and down, or is he well within himself and so confident that he feels as though he can do whatever he wants?
And I think it's the latter. He sits back to admire his work sometimes. And the other guy goes on and lands more punches.
That kind of overconfidence wouldn't serve him well against a real professional like McCallum, who is schooled in the art of seizing every opportunity.
I agree.
McCallum is not looking for a knockout in there, George. He just wants to score.
That's what he's doing. He's doing a good job of it. Toney is hanging around with his mother a lot. He's got a lot of mother whip about him. You never know what's on his mind. He hangs around with the old folks, you know. Not that I'm old, you know.
She's not old, George. She's younger than you and me.
Isn't that nice?
Hey, more than half the world is. Toney landing a series of shots there as they came off the ropes. None of them real hard blows. McCallum goes back to the body. Referee Joe Cortez warned him between rounds to keep him up. Mike just missing with a long left hand there, and Toney lands the left hook.
McCallum is saying, if you're not going to do anything, I may as well do something. That's what's happening in this boxing match.
You really have to wonder why the seemingly stronger James Toney doesn't work harder to try to exert pressure on Mike McCallum.
Coming in too light, too quick. 158, he's probably been like that for 8 to 10 days.
Right hand over the top landed for Toney. Another disagreement between Larry Merchant and Harold Letterman as to whether it did any damage.
Get him out, come on.
It's hard to tell how much damage some of those punches are doing because McCallum takes such a good punch. He's never been on the canvas. This is his 12th year as a professional prize fighter.
Now the mouthpiece is out again, and referee Joe Cortez will look for an opportunity to replace it.
Hold time.
And he does. Timeout. He leaves Toney in his corner. Doesn't make him go to a neutral corner. Brings McCallum back to his corner to replace the mouthpiece for the second time in the bout.
Someone needs to scream into Toney's ear. Man, you're in a title match here.
He looks very bored. Now Cortez sends Toney to the neutral corner, and he comes over and smiles at us.
Leave it out. All right, come on, time in. Let's go.
As though amused by the ennui of it all. McCallum goes back to work.
Get him out, Mike.
Crowd chanting Toney, Toney.
And I think it's good because he's lost interest in fighters.
Boxing lessons on. Through round 7, McCallum has thrown 490 punches and landed 200, according to punch count numbers. Toney has thrown nearly 100 fewer punches and landed 75 fewer. But yet Harold Letterman has Toney ahead. This is the dilemma for scorers at this bout. Round 8. Champion James Toney in the gold trunks, challenger Mike McCallum in the red. Toney is 24 years old, McCallum is 35. McCallum has been the busier fighter.
McCallum has been trying all night to make Toney go backward. He's been not able to do it, but he's trying, and